Sucking on my own dick. Yeah, you know I'm sucking on my own dick. Sucking on my dick. Everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our own dicks. Everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our dicks. Yeah, you know I'm sucking on my dicks.
Coward Hour.
Now we're back. We had a false start.
We had a false start.
I thought that
immediately panicked about the recording.
I bought cheap headphones and they
Why do you buy new headphones like every 3 weeks?
because the headphones I buy are like $9 and they just my cat eats them while I'm sleeping. I will
fun.
fall asleep with my headphones in bed. The cat sleeps next to my head, and she'll just like chew through the wires like while I'm sleeping.
Well, that sounds nice.
Yeah. It will. I'm sure that one
I
day
wish
it'll
that
kill
I had.
her.
Yeah, I wish that I had something that I loved that would destroy everything that I have.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've done that before.
I have, and I will again.
Yeah, I think you've run around in those circles before.
Yeah.
She started farting in bed. They don't make any noise. I just wake up because her asshole is like right in my face. That's where she sleeps, and it's like these are like the farts of like a middle-aged man coming out of this tiny, tiny cat.
I don't like that one bit.
I hate it.
Why
honestly.
does she have to sleep ass angled towards your nose?
I don't know, honestly, because she likes to be wherever my head is. So like if I'm laying with my head to the right, and that she'll be like right to my, I guess her ass is to my face, like she's right there.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
if I turn in the night, if I move my head over this way, she'll get up and walk over my body and then put her ass back in front of my face
So
on that side.
she really wants to fart on you.
That or she likes my like feeling my breath or something, which is fucking gross.
Anyway, either way, it's a highly sexual dynamic you have between you and this cat.
Yeah.
This is a kinky cat.
I love my cat. I'm not doing.
You
sex
ever
stuff
fuck
with-
your cat?
No, I don't do sex stuff with the cat. I do.
I like how you answered so much more generally than I asked. I asked specifically, "Do you fuck your cat?" And you're like, "I don't do any
I don't
sex
do
stuff."
anything sexual with the cat.
I never would. What?
I'm telling Tom when to get here. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
No, keep asking your question.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anytime, I feel like you would have just said no, maybe.
No, because I don't want because I didn't want
the
to.
way that you said it made it sound like you just finger your cat.
No.
And you wanted to cover all the bases in case I asked that.
No, I
next.
was no, because you said, "Do you ever fuck your cat?" And I didn't want to go through the fucking rigmarole of me being like, "No," and you're like, "Do you finger your cat? Do you lick your cat's pussy? What do you do, Nick?" So I just said, "I don't do anything sexual with my cat," because I knew what was coming.
All right, I guess that's fair.
Well, you're a predictable comic.
Well, if you had to do something sexual with your
No.
cat, say it's a scenario, gun to your head. No, gun to Rita's head.
If I think, don't even say that. If I think about that, I'm gonna cry. Why do you have to say things like that? I wouldn't do. I mean, I would.
Do you care about animals this much?
I would do anything. I would do anything if Rita's life was literally in danger. I would do anything that it took to save her life. I don't want to answer more specifically.
Okay.
Than that.
Is this all animals or just cats?
This
and
is
stuff?
any animal that I see.
Any animal that you see.
This is any animal that makes eye contact with me for more than like 2 seconds. I'm like, we know each other.
Do you think if we were out in the woods and we needed to hunt rabbits for food, could you do it?
No, that's where my apocalypse scenario really falls apart because it doesn't because there's going to be so much canned food, there's going to be so much to scavenge that I'll be good. Oh god, I won't be able to kill an animal for food. I will
You're
be
gonna
able
get botulism. You're gonna be all splotchy and blue.
I'll tell you what, I will be able to kill people for food easily.
I believe that.
Yeah, definitely. I would much sooner eat a person than I would eat an animal.
Yeah, I
that
mean-
I had to kill my own because I eat fucking animals.
Yeah, the apocalypse rolls around. We're like, wow, Nick seems oddly practiced at butchering men. I guess he's just a natural.
Yeah, dude.
And he even
I'm
has
like
this
Kevin Costner.
this cellar that is conveniently near his house that he somehow knew about.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, I understand why. I understand cannibalism in the apocalypse because I think I would be friends with the animals. They'd be guiding me through the fucking. I'd be spirit walking with the,
Okay.
with the 3-horned elk. Whatever comes out of the nuclear fallout, whatever new kinds of elk there are, I'm gonna befriend them.
3 horns is the shittiest, like least fantastic mutation of a.
I'm talking about a realistic scenario. Well, I'm not. I don't even. I'm not talking about comic book shit, Brendan. I'm talking about when it happens in 10 years. What kind of new species will we see? I would imagine like a 3-horned elk, something to help it in combat.
I don't think we're gonna be getting new species. I think if anything, we're just gonna have way less animals.
Right, there's going to be a lot of sick animals.
Yeah, there's gonna be like half as many species.
Don't say that. I don't even like thinking about that. Why are you being so negative about animals? I don't like that. I love animals.
I'm just curious why you value animals so much.
Because they haven't done anything wrong. They haven't.
Yeah,
animals,
they have.
No, they haven't. Animals.
Watch Grizzly Man. You can't fucking.
No, you didn't watch Grizzly Man because the bears that killed him were different bears. They were bears that were starving and hungry, and he hadn't bonded with them yet. The bears that he had bonded with, that's the whole fucking fallacy of that documentary. Because Werner Herzog thinks that nature is chaotic and evil, but he demonstrated a real connection with that fox and those fucking bears. The bear that killed him was not a bear that he knew.
I did watch this movie, and I thought the whole point of it was that, yes, he built up that he had this deep connection with the animals, but ultimately at the end, he doesn't. And he was lying to himself, and he was harming the bears by eroding their sense of boundaries between them and men.
So that's true. That is, I think that's partially true. That I see the harm that he was doing to the bears by making them, because you had people who were coming up and like abusing them. But fuck people for going and fucking abusing the bears. That's still a human problem. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, don't abuse the bears.
Don't abuse the fucking bears.
Look, if you're listening and you're presently bothering a bear, if you got your fucking earbuds in, you're out in the woods, you're fucking prodding a bear, you better knock that shit off.
Knock that shit
buddy.
off, dude. It's a fucking. Be nice to the bear. The bear probably would love you if you opened your arms to it. Stop prodding the bear.
The bear has no feelings about you.
Try to give the bear big kisses on the mouth. It's gonna love it. But
all right, it might like that.
It's gonna love it. The bear,
try to feel out if the bear's into women or men first.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
the worst thing you'd want is to like.
These are platonic kisses. It's not a sexual thing with the bears. You want to make you
don't
fuck these animals.
You don't want like a homophobic bro bear fucking like backlashing against you.
Let the bears believe what they want to believe.
All right. Before you kiss the bear, kind of rub his thigh. Feel him out, you know? You don't want to go in just for an open-mouthed kiss.
The kiss is
no
not,
signals.
This is not a sexual kiss. I kiss my dog on the mouth.
Do you have a dog?
Back home, yeah, in Maryland.
Oh, I
had a
didn't
dog. He's still alive, amazingly.
Huh.
Yeah, every time I let dogs kiss me on the mouth, my roommates are like, that's some white people shit. I'm just like, well, shut up. Their mouths are cleaner than ours. I don't know if that's true. My mom said it to me once when I was 9, and I've been believing it.
It's certainly a fact I've heard many times. I've never heard any sort of study
I think
cited.
It's because they've got like natural antioxidants or something in their mouth. Something like that. I don't know. Something like that.
Is it more like they don't really eat sugar, so there's less shit going on in there?
I guess they eat their own shit, but who gives a fuck, dude? The air is poison. I don't care. I'm not so precious about.
I mean, what? You gonna eat dog shit, Nick?
No, I'm not gonna eat dog shit, but I don't give a fuck if a dog.
No, but you'll kiss the dog shit. You'll pick it up and you'll peck it.
I let dogs kiss me on the mouth, dude. I love it.
Okay, I mean, I don't think that's weird.
It's not, but
I don't.
Every time
I
let a dog kiss me on the mouth in front of anybody who's not white, they look at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, you just need to fucking get down here with the dogs, dude.
Are you talking like they're licking in your mouth?
They're licking my face.
They're licking. I mean, yeah, the dog licks your face, like licking your closed lips.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no. I'm not letting the dog get in my mouth.
Okay, because I've seen that before.
I've
seen people do that.
The problem with that is that's crossing a line.
Yeah, that would make me go full Black Twitter, like these mayo ass white people. White people. That would make me join their side. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's
Look, as a defender of whites, I will break rank.
Because like here's
the matter.
everyone's like, oh, well, treating animals like part of the family is white privilege. I'm just like, shouldn't we be treating the animals well?
Yeah, that is a weird attitude.
My neighborhood is rough, dude. Because these
your neighborhood has like feral dogs,
stray dogs. They rove in packs.
Yeah,
dude. There's literally, it breaks my heart. I want to like take this guy down. There's a guy who on my street corner. I don't know where he got it from, but he's got a Saint Bernard.
Mm-hmm.
This Saint Bernard is starving. It's always dirty. Dude doesn't take care of it. He hits it like just in the street. He just like hits the dog. He's got it on like a chain leash. The dog's really aggressive. The dog is so. Have you seen those pictures of like polar bears on like the melting polar ice caps?
Yeah,
where, like,
yeah.
They look all fucked up and skinny.
Look all scrawny and mangy.
That's what this dog looks like. And I'm just like, take care of your fucking dog, dude. It makes
yeah,
me
I mean,
so
why?
mad.
I don't. You don't get pleasure out of having a dog if you treat it that way. The pleasure from the dog comes from the bond and like the endorphins that you get from feeling a sense of love from a being.
I mean, maybe some people just want to like dominate a beast, you know?
Yeah, I guess if you're evil, then you might get that from it. Anyway, do you want to hunt this man?
Yeah, very much. There's a lot, man. There's a lot of animal activity on my street where I'm just like, I want to become like the death wish of avenging dogs. I just want to avenge all these. There's this fucking German Shepherd who he's in an area fenced in that's literally from your TV to your closet. It's that small, and he just shits all over. His owners don't pick his shit up. He just lays in his shit. And he just whines all day.
Disgraceful.
I gotta go get that.
How's he
guy.
gonna respect himself?
He's not. He's a majestic fucking animal.
Yeah. If I was just rolling around in my own shit all day, I would have even worse self-esteem than I presently do.
I'm like Tony with Pai Oh My. As I'm listening to this,
I was waiting for you to compare yourself to Tony.
That this is.
It is. Okay. Comparing yourself to Tony when anyone else does it is the stupidest thing ever. But then, like, when you're watching The Sopranos, I feel like everyone's like, I'm Tony. And Tony's good.
Tony.
In a way, Tony is good and also me.
Tony's no good.
Tony's pretty good.
Yeah, I hope I'm not Tony, dude. I'm definitely. Actually, what am I saying? If I was Tony, at least I would like have. Tony's successful at what he does. Sure, he's got a bad end and like, but like, there's some pride to be taken in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that my worldview might really line up with Tony's. I
what
very
way?
much
Like-
believe in like the original sin of men, like because this is my whole thing with animals and people, right? Like animals' intentions are pure generally. You know what? I think so. Like an animal's not going to do anything fucking Machiavellian.
I mean, domesticated animals like dogs, cats.
Well, but even an animal in the wild, what's it like? What's it doing? Is it like is an animal in
I
the
don't
wild?
think its intention is pure so much as it is neutral. I mean, its intention is only to survive.
Well, exactly.
And for some animals, that instinct that involves the destruction of other life. But I mean, for the most part, animals don't fucking just attack people.
Right. Well, what I mean is like if an animal ever does something violent, it's not because the animal is like being two-faced or something. It's not like the animal isn't like
Yeah, the animal isn't like being a bitch.
yeah, that's it.
It's like scared and desperate, perhaps.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's sad. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, literally, when I see, even with the Timothy Treadwell thing, like when I understand like the bear ripped him apart, but I hear the parts like the bear was like scared and hungry, I'm like, well, I'm sad for the bear. I'm glad that he got to eat.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing: is that dude was horrendously autistic.
No, stop. He was a beautiful soul.
He was so on the spectrum.
I know that this is not what you're supposed to take away from Grizzly Man, but I love Timothy. I think he was fucking doing it.
I don't think that is the way that you should interpret the events in that movie.
They were letting him, Brendan, go to elementary schools and tell these kids all about how to be friends with the bears. They wouldn't just let a guy do that who was crazy.
They absolutely
They don't
would
just let anyone into elementary school.
Do you remember Dare?
I remember, dude. Honestly, we had so many people who came to our high school who got like fucking. I'm pretty sure the fucking Coney 2012 people came to our high school. It was after I had graduated.
Did you see that guy jack off?
Yeah, in the not at the school. But Coney 2012 was after I had graduated. I remember the Invisible Children thing was so important that I went back to my high school for this assembly.
Damn.
Just like sat amongst people who were like younger than me.
Wow, that's crazy.
But we had this woman who came in who was like addicted to heroin, had been. This was like for Star Week. So at my school, every year minimum one kid would kill themselves, and they got to the point where it was like there was one year it was like 3 kids a year. Every year there was a suicide, and it was so bad that my school made we made a special week called Star Week just because so many kids were killing themselves. We're like, all right, we need our own like designated week where we basically have
Where
like,
it's illegal to kill yourself.
it is. There were like bands at lunch, and they were all singing songs about like positive, uplifting songs about
Don't
not
kill yourself.
We had programming.
Take that rope down from the ceiling.
It was like that. It was like
Put your dad's gun out of your mouth. Don't kill yourself.
dude, Severna Park, suicide capital of fucking Anne Arundel County. But and we had all these
suicide center of the world.
seriously,
baby.
man. Oh my god, one girl, she just drove her car to the Bay Bridge and jumped off.
That's sick.
Fucking sick.
I mean, look, you're gonna die. Drive the car off. Have fun.
It would be hard to break through the concrete barriers.
Oh yeah, I guess
would
because
be- it
you
would be
don't have
tough.
that much time to back. I'd at least try. I mean, what's the worst that happens? Is you die in your car?
It's so funny because my uncle like. Oh no, it wasn't the Bay Bridge. It was the Annapolis Bridge. Because like when my uncle was like in his teens, he got drunk and just like dove off that thing, like not intending to kill himself, and was fine. So I'm like, how weak are these fucking people?
I mean, when you're drunk, it's pretty well known that like your muscles are all. That's why the drunk driver usually survives the accident.
Oh yeah,
over
because
the-
you're relaxed. You're not tensed up.
yeah. I'd imagine if you're trying to kill yourself, you're going to be pretty tight.
Just regretting it the whole way down. Just like, oh no.
Yeah, I mean, they say that everyone who survives, when they interview them later, they're like, I regretted it immediately. But I feel like there's definitely got to be at least like 40% of people where they're like, would you do it again? He's like, yeah, wheelchair me back now. And they're like, no, don't put that in the paper.
don't say that. We have to change that. Well, but no. So, but one of these people that we got for Star Week, one of the speakers that we got at one of the assemblies, she used to be on heroin. She was like addicted to heroin. She was
I love the fucking junkie they'd bring to your high school.
because they're
And
no good ever.
And everyone would always make fun of them.
Yeah, well, this lady was bad. She was just like a 40. I think she was just like a. I don't know what she did. I don't know I didn't remember what her job was, but I remember she was literally like, and I'll tell you, kids. She's like, I could stand up here and tell you that heroin doesn't feel great, but that would be a lie. Heroin is the best I've ever felt in my life, and I think about doing it every day. She goes, hell, it was a struggle not to boot up before I came here to talk to you kids today.
Too honest.
Oh, way too honest. Wait, and then like 20 minutes of her 45 minutes or whatever she did was just about how good heroin was and like
So some kid probably went to the bathroom and he came back and he's like, "Oh, it's over? All right. Well, I guess I got what I could from that."
yeah, she was like they'll tell you that your life will turn into a nightmare, but it doesn't. It's going to be pretty great for a while. You're going to be having a good time. We were just like, "Oh my fucking god, dude."
Hell yeah. Yeah, I remember we used to have this dude, Officer Jershaw, who he would come in
Oh my god.
and he was like I think there's a certain kind of cop who like is just a dare officer, which means like I don't know if that means they like shot someone, they had to like take him out of the squad car or something.
Oh my god.
But this dude was like a full-time dare officer like still had a gun for some reason. But he
you
would,
got to take the gun.
yeah, you take that gun away
You
from
gotta
that
take the
man.
gun away from the dude.
But I remember he would come in and I remember the one time he did this thing. He's like, "All right, now I can see that sometimes people have questions. They don't want to raise their hand and ask it publicly, So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this box here throughout the week. You have questions, you write them down, put them in there. I'm going to come back next week. I'm going to open up. I'm going to read all your questions. No one even has to know." And then the next week he's like, "All right, let's see. What are these questions going to be about?" They're going to say, "Officer Jershaw, did you ever stop a robbery or solve a cool crime?" And he opens the first one. It's like, "Tell us about a person who has committed suicide." He's just like, "Oh, well, we're going to skip that one." That's
You can't be opening questions.
some of them were like, people didn't understand that like, it wasn't health class. So some of them were just like questions about jerking off. And he's like, this isn't really dare related.
Oh my god, dude. Dude, I'll never forget the one time I got in trouble with the school police officer was I was at a lunch. I think I was like I was my sophomore, junior year. I was at a lunch table.
That's gotta suck to be the school cop.
Yeah, this guy stunk. And he was he was friends with our vice principal. They would kind of like monitor the lunchroom together. Our vice principal was a bald white man named Will Smith.
Hell yeah.
Incredible. So I was like at the lunch table talking to it was me and my friends and then like a bunch of girls, and I was just like I was being funny. I was cussing a lot. I forget what I was saying. I think I wish I could remember. I think I was
I
talking
miss
about
how cool cussing used to feel.
cussing used to feel so cool, and I must have been loud. I guess I was pretty loud back then. I was talking about my dick or something, and the girls are laughing, and I just feel I feel a big fucking hand on my shoulder. Like apparently the cop had just walked up to me like swiftly, and he was like, "Son, why don't you come with me?" And they took me to the corner of the lunchroom where I was berated by the cop and Will Smith for using foul language. And then
Son, you were talking about your dick so loud that I called the cops.
But the funniest part was he leaned after he's done lecturing me. He goes, he leans in. He goes, and you know what the worst part is, man? There were girls right there, and I was like, yeah, they thought I was being fucking funny. You dork! You pulled me away before I got to my big finish.
Yeah. It is. It's funny to imagine, like, that seems very different from you now. Like, imagining you telling a woman about your dick, unfathomable.
I mean, I was in my younger days. I was more direct and boisterous. I'll do that if we get there.
Yeah.
You know, if we get to the end.
Sometimes I lean into a lady and I whisper, "I have a dick," and I let them, puzzle that out from there.
I have this recurring thing in my life where until I fuck someone, I guess I give off a very asexual vibe. I've had two girls tell me after I had sex with them that before they had sex with me, they couldn't even imagine me having sex. And I'm like, wow, thank you so much. I'm so
Damn.
glad.
So if two told you, how many thought it?
Told me.
Yeah.
Told me. There was one girl who I kissed her at the end of our first date, and she was like, I didn't think that you. She goes, I didn't think that you were ever going to kiss me. And not like she's like, I don't mean that like I was waiting. She was like, I didn't think that. I thought that we were just like friends. I thought that the way that this, not like
She's like, man, I'm bombing this date. This fucking homo won't kiss me.
Well, yeah, it was literally that. It's not like the vibe was friends. It was like she wanted to hook up with me, but like I guess I just give off a fucking platonic vibe until I don't.
Yeah, well, I'm terrified to flirt. It's a little bit different now on those sweet, sweet pills.
I've been learning that.
Can we get
apparently-
Zoloft to sponsor this? This would be a terrible
No,
advertisement.
no. Zoloft would. This is not a ringing endorsement
a like
for
a
Zoloft.
long generic drug. Zoloft, will you give me $15 a year to hawk your product?
Yeah, Zoloft, sponsored by the extremely normal Brendan Craig.
Yeah, my brain is good. It's strong and good.
Oh my
Everything's
God.
great.
I'm
not compulsively hoarding camping equipment for dark reasons.
You've been taking that Zoloft for how long?
Like 2 months now,
And this is the peak.
and this is the peak.
Well, this is not a great.
I mean, I don't think
this
there's a drug that like peaks like that. I mean,
No, I just mean like you. This is you on
me
the drug.
at tip-top shape. Yeah, this is as good as it gets.
Good God.
Yeah. Man, it's becoming such a problem. Not a problem. I mean, I think things are so much better than they were, but I realized recently that like a lot of what was keeping my finances in order was anxiety. So like without
no.
anxiety, I'm just like, oh, why wouldn't I buy that? I'm just like,
Oh no. Well, be careful.
yeah, I know. I mean,
You've got
I'll
a
be
steady
fine.
job. I'm sure.
yeah, I have a steady. I'm not hurting. It's fine.
Nice. Cool.
But
Don't go crazy. Please
yeah,
don't
no, I'm
lose
not
all
gonna.
your money because you're not depressed anymore.
Yeah. Well, I've heard people say things like that. I mean, like I was talking to my friend Leah about it, and she was saying that like Sertraline or whatever it's called, it just removes inhibitions, which can cause like a lot of different effects. Like that is apparently the reason why people kill themselves when they start taking drugs like this. Is it's not because it makes them more depressed. It's that it takes away the inhibition that would prevent them from acting on what they want to do deep down.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, well, the drug worked. You finally built up the courage to live your truth.
Some people might be supposed to. Some people are maybe supposed to kill themselves. I don't know. I think about that. Like, how hard can you fight against this thing that's like wired into your brain through some? It's some kind of evolutionary trait.
Yeah, I mean, I would never
I mean,
do
that's
it.
nobody. Holy shit!
No.
As I'm saying that, nobody listening to this should kill themselves.
Oh, should I not?
No.
Should I not follow my train of thought? I was just gonna say, like most people agree that it is ethical, and like people who are in constant pain as a result of physical illnesses,
Yeah.
should be allowed to end their life on their own terms.
I
Like,
agree.
So, I mean, what if someone's brain is so broken that they're in emotional pain at all times? Should they have to live?
Philosophically, I want to entertain this, but
yeah, I
but
mean, this is a broadcast.
yeah. I just talked about all the fucking people. We had a special week at my. I mean, who maybe it doesn't do anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's anybody who is listening to this.
We check the numbers next week, and we have 0 listeners.
They're all dead. They all fucking because their heroes, told them to do it.
What if we found out that everyone who listens to this podcast all meets up IRL to do it?
Yeah. Jesus.
They all turn to look at each other. They're like, "Well, I guess Nick and Brendan want us to do it."
We don't.
We do not.
Stay alive.
At least until we launch the Patreon.
Stay alive through the fucking Patreon and stay alive. Also, don't kill your friends. Probably like you. Don't be a dick. It sucks to have.
It's rude to die.
It like how fucking bummed out you get when that one guy left the cast of Always Sunny. You're like, I missed that. I liked him on Always. That's how it is when you fucking die and you're not in your friend group anymore. It's like when you watch your show and then the blonde bitch from Cheers is replaced by Kirstie Alley. Don't do that to your friends.
Yeah.
That's the most that I can. Don't kill yourselves, guys. Jesus Christ. Don't put this on me.
Unless you really want to. Make a pros and cons list. At best.
I wish this piano was on. I just want to play it over you fucking.
You can turn it on.
No. No, I'm not gonna do. We don't need to add that to. Not yet. In a couple episodes.
That would be hilarious.
I can't play the piano.
That would be sick if this became didn't Paul Tompkins have that improv podcast with a pianist? Except this isn't us doing sketches or scenes or characters. It would just be us being like, "What if your dick was haunted?" And then a man's in the background.
Yeah, just nice modal jazz.
Just playing rags.
Oh,
love a good rag.
I love a nice rag.
Man, when's the last time you heard a rag on the radio?
Freak. There was a ragtime show on the College Station in Baltimore, but it would come on after 1 a.m. So I was called the Juke in the Back. I loved it, man. Coming home from shows, driving home the 2 hours from Havre de Grace after doing a terrible.
And you're just listening to just The Entertainer on loop.
Yes, honestly, it made me, dude. It was nice. I felt like I was transported
such a
back
funny
in time.
song.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It sounds like there's parts missing. It'd be funny to bring a chick home and she's like, "Oh, why don't you put something on?" You're like, "All right, let me put on my favorite song." Ba 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. You're just slow jacking.
It's sorry, I just got into culture and music. I like this, and have you ever heard that song?
Sorry, I just
Chopsticks?
landed on Earth.
Yeah, dude. That's how I used to say. That's what you say about you ever been in Kohl's and you go to the graphic tees sections, and it's this was a joke of mine. I forget all my jokes, but all the graphic tees, it's like a Beatles T-shirt, a Led Zeppelin T-shirt, and a Van Halen T-shirt, and that's all their T-shirts, right?
Yeah.
It's literally you're like, oh, what do humans like? Nobody should ever wear a Beatles shirt. The Beatles is such a given.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes, we all enjoy the Beatles.
We all enjoy the Beatles. Putting them on a shirt is insane.
It is. I saw yesterday. I was fascinated. I was at the hardware store, and the dude.
Why? I'm worried about all the places you've been going. You've been getting camping equipment. What are you doing at the hardware store?
I'm building a shoe rack.
Oh my god!
For the hall because we decided to institute a no shoe in the house policy.
Oh fuck!
So I figured we need. Well, it hasn't started yet. It's gonna start when we get the carpets done.
Great.
Yeah. So I thought, I'm gonna build a rack. That'll be fun because, basically this is a dry run for all right, if I have to quit comedy, could I do trade school?
What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop. Just don't quit on comedy yet.
No, I'm not quitting. I'm just saying.
You've got 1 foot in the grave.
No, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to fucking make it, dude.
Yeah, the only way you fail is if you quit. Literally, I was just having this conversation with somebody.
I think that used to be true. I remember you introducing that idea to me like 4 years ago, 5 years, something like that. We were eating Chinese food in Baltimore after like one of those the Crown shows, one
Yeah.
of Chris Hudson shows,
Uh-huh.
and you were telling me the thing about comedy is that like the only way that you can fail is to quit. And then we went through examples. And we're like, yeah, I guess we can't think of any comedians who have failed who did. And it's like, well, yeah, of course.
I think I was drunk, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
that was the night where you're like, you were on stage like, I thought this was gonna be like Bill Hicks. I'm so sorry.
So incredible to have
So funny.
to bomb, to have a nightmarish bomb, and then lecture you
Yeah,
about
then
the
lecture
rules
me.
of comedy.
Also,
Afterwards.
this was back when I thought that you were just always on cocaine because I didn't know about your polyps.
I've got like a deviated septum type thing.
Yeah, and I feel like it was worse then or something.
Well, living out here has improved it.
Okay.
I can breathe a lot easier.
Yeah, because I remember like we're talking there, you're constantly snorting, and then like you were like going to the bathroom a lot or something, and I made some sort of comment about it. And you were like, you want to do some, and you went like that at me, like as a bit or something. But I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I guess Nick like always is on cocaine. Well, that's interesting that I have a friend like that.
I was probably fucking 20 or 21.
Yeah,
I would have had to have been like 20 or 21.
yeah. I was like, wow, he seems to do an immense amount of cocaine for a man with no money.
No,
well,
cocaine is. I had some money at that point. I had a little money. Yeah, well, I think it's true. I don't know, man. I think it's just true with the
I mean,
industry. in
there's
general.
also thousands. Like, how many comics are just? Is there no record of ever doing it? I mean, look at how many people on the Comedy Store wall you can't even Google.
Yeah, but they're on the wall.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm
don't
just
know.
saying, there's many ways to fail other than quit,
Yeah, I don't know.
but not for us. You know.
I was having a nice conversation with one of Tim H's friends about like, because I was admitting some insecurities. He's like he does stuff for like Amblin.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to say anything.
I don't know what Amblin is.
Steven Spielberg's company. We're not saying anything.
All right.
But he was telling me. I gotta be good.
Okay.
I'm so worried about this podcast coming
Look,
back.
I'm sure they're fine. Yeah, me too.
I've been toying about a version of this. I've been toying with the idea of a version of this podcast where we just cut ourselves out of the art, and then like our voices are just pitched down. Like we just like witness protection the podcast. But no, he was like,
we eventually we could edit them all, and then we were gonna do this with the original Coward Hour. We were just going to we were gonna bleep because we were constantly bleeping things out because we were just such shit talkers that we were just constantly saying people's names and
Right.
all kinds of stuff. And we would bleep them out, and we're like, oh, what we should do is like if you pay for the Patreon, you get them unbleeped.
"What are you, stupid?
We just thought it would be funny.
You don't make it available ever. You shouldn't."
No, we'd be like, but if you pay $1 a month, we're gonna assume you're cool.
No, that's worth not having a career.
I mean, in Philly, it's pretty hard to imagine any scenario where you have a career. Then you move
That's
out
true.
here and you're like, oh, I'm in it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying, man. Because I was talking to this guy who actually has a job in the industry, and I'm like, I'm self-conscious, like my skills. I'm like, I don't have a college degree. All my experience is just like through my friends. He's like, yeah, you're doing better than like 90% of the people. He's like, the only way you fail is if you like move back. He's like, so much of this industry is just like hanging on, like fucking hanging, like being like a bug on the windshield and just being like, I guess that means I don't know. I tried to come up with you understand what I'm saying.
Like a man on the windshield.
Yes, way better.
Like
analogy.
a large nude man
on a windshield, you just
pressed
gotta
against the
fucking hold on.
windshield.
And eventually, something will happen just by nature of like people are like, oh, Nick is still here. All right, I guess he'll get a job. I hope. That sounds so naive.
I feel like there have to be. I mean, that can't 100% be true. And again, not gonna happen.
But here's the
for
thing,
us,
because people who
special for some reason.
but I think so many people have that line of thinking that you have right there,
And then they just quit?
and then they just quit, and then you have people who are insane like me, where like in the face of like your life being terrible, you're like, I can't do anything else, so I just have to do this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I do have like a weird, completely manic, narcissistic belief that I'm supposed to be famous, but that I'll.
No, you're
make,
supposed to do something that fulfills you for a living.
Yeah, I guess that's a lot nicer than what I was gonna say, but just that I'll be able to like make a life for myself doing this.
Yeah.
Doing stuff just related to like writing and comedy and being creative.
That makes sense.
I think if I believe that manically and insanely, it'll come true.
Yeah, I mean, it goes in waves for me. I go through times of not believing in myself, and I go through times of believing in myself.
You should get off the drugs.
No.
You should just get off the drugs and see what happens.
I don't think so.
Come on.
Because, no, things were extremely bad.
But they might be great. Nobody that knows for sure what will happen.
I know exactly what will happen.
The jury is out on what
I will
happen.
go back to exactly the way that I was before I started taking them, which was near dysfunctionally depressed.
No one can know actually what would happen. But
One might
don't-
argue that you can know.
don't get off the drugs. I'm just doing a bit. Obviously, getting off drugs just served a comedian very poorly. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah. I'm
Nah, you're
probably
the-
going to start doubling up on the drugs without consulting my doctor.
Well, that's
That's what you're saying, right?
No.
Just take twice as many?
What will that do? Do you think? Do you think you'll just become like an automaton? Like you'll just like.
Probably I'm at the effective dose, and that would just intensify the side effects, which would be pretty sick. If I was just sweating, shaking constantly, dick microscopic, just so shrunken, just a fucking awful, wretched dick.
You just fucking eunuch yourself.
I just eunuch, yeah. I double up on the drugs, and I'm like, well, now that my inhibitions are gone. Turns out I wanted to BME Pain Olympics myself.
That's awesome, dude. You should double up the dosage so that your mind becomes malleable, your dick is useless, and you just become my servant. That's really what I want. I want your sexuality to become.
You are Jeffrey Dahmer.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't hurt.
I
anybody.
love animals. I want men to.
Did he love animals?
Let's quick Google if he loved animals.
I don't know.
Real quick.
Do you know what's so funny?
Talk while I do this.
Because Jeffrey Dahmer, he was the one who made. He was trying to make sex zombies, right?
Yeah.
So I thought he was trying to make them because he would drill holes in people's heads while they were alive, and he would pour acid in there.
It looks like serial killers a lot of the time. I think it might be a fiction
It's-
thing
right.
that they love animals. It looks like a lot of them abuse animals at a young age, perhaps as practice for men.
I would never abuse an animal, so I don't think so. But Jeff, that was the thing. Jeffrey.
You would form a consensual sexual relationship with the animal.
No,
you think
stop.
Timothy,
I'm
whatever.
not fucking
you think
these
he ever-
animals.
You think he ever tried to fuck the bears?
No, he had a girlfriend.
It
had a
sounded
couple.
like he had several girlfriends, which was weird. It sounded like he was laying pipe
Well,
in that
let's be
documentary.
honest, dude. He kind of had pickup artist energy, just the way he dressed, how excited, he would do fucking voices and shit.
mean, Clearly, an autistic man. I mean, he had a Sam Hyde haircut
Yeah, and people I think love
and fucking Matrix sunglasses.
He in the documentary, his girlfriend described it as a Prince Valiant haircut.
Yeah, everyone kept describing it that way. It's like that is you all came together and you decided the kindest way to say a retard bowl cut.
Yeah, dude. The funniest thing about the documentary is they interview his friend who was trying to be an actor. Do you remember that guy? I think he's in Venice, and the way he's talking about Timothy is the most rehearsed, soap opera. It's one of the funniest parts of the documentary because the guy is just so excited to be in a movie that he's overacting, talking about his dead friend.
When my dead friend looked in my eyes.
No,
for
there's
the
a little part
last
where he
time.
goes, he's like, and the thing about Timothy was he was always different. And he was always different. He's taking big pauses. He's looking into the sky.
Yeah.
But
Where's my eyeliner? There. Up.
wait, I want to say this thing about Jeffrey Dahmer really quick. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
interesting. So he was trying to make sex zombies. Admirable, And so the way he did it, he was
Talk about a Me Too situation.
a total Me Too situation. And some
Yeah.
of them would some of his victims would
Hey,
get away.
Jeffrey Dahmer, time's up, buddy.
and he'd get them back because he was trying to alter their brain, so he'd keep them alive. He would drill holes into their head, and then he would pour. I read that he poured acid in there to make them more pliable, to make them more zombie-like and open to suggestion. And I always assumed because of the MK Ultra experiments and stuff that meant LSD. And then I found out that he was pouring sulfuric acid into the
Yeah,
holes.
yeah.
In there. I didn't know that.
Well, it's like a lobotomy. He was trying to dissolve the frontal lobe.
I thought he was trying to just get the acid right on the brain, dude.
No.
Which I guess here that wouldn't make you could just
Yeah, I mean,
take the acid.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess. I'm so stupid.
Damn, if if they proved that taking acid directly to the brain like made it work better, you would have done it by now. You would just show up with no scalp.
Yeah, it would be
You
like
just-
the end of Hannibal.
Yeah, you would just come over with an exposed brain, and you would get mad when I like made a big deal out of it.
Why I'm like a Mojo Jojo looking ass. Yeah, dude.
Look at that.
This is the
Indiana Jones monkey brain dish ass.
Yeah, dude. This is the boofing of doing acid. Just put it right on your brain.
Damn.
Man, you ever butt chug anything?
No.
You must have. No, you didn't.
No, I never.
Have you ever put any substance in your ass so that it would get absorbed quicker?
In my ass? No, I used to snort tobacco. But
Why? All right, that's dumber than anything I've ever done.
No, I mean it's they sell snorting tobacco.
What?
Do you not know this?
No.
All right. I say that, but also to be fair, no one has ever known what I was talking about. When
Snorting tobacco?
yeah, it's called Snuff, and
that you snort that? I always assumed that was just
well, you're
like
thinking
dip.
you're thinking of snus,
snus. That's it.
which is like a little tea bag of dip.
Dip will kill you.
Yeah, I mean dip's pretty bad, but snuff, what it is, and like I think in like the 1900s, 1910s, it was like as popular as smoking,
Mm-hmm.
but it's crushed up. It's like specially cured, crushed up tobacco that you don't snort it like into your sinuses the way that you would like Coke or pills or something. I assume I've never done that.
Yeah, I don't snort. I can't.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't really snort anything.
But you just kind of like you. It comes in a little tin. It looks like a little Altoids tin, and here like where your thumb and your finger connect, you kind of like dip it out on that little thing.
I have seen this. Now that you're
Yeah,
describing this, I've seen this in like maybe like an old like
I'm sure like silent films or something.
yeah, like I'm thinking maybe like a Laurel and Hardy sketch or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. I mean, that's the last time. It was like anytime I bought it, they'd be like, "What? I don't think we have that." And then the manager would come up and be like, "No, we have it back." And they'd like reach way up high on a shelf and take it off and go, pull a bunch of dust off of it.
That's hilarious.
So be like, "Yeah, everyone hates this. Why would you buy it?" But yeah, then you just snort it like just hard enough that it coats the inside of your nostril, and it gives you a pretty decent buzz. The way that we started doing this is in Lancaster there's this place called the Liederkranz that it was like the German club,
I love that.
which I haven't thought about that in a while. I bet people aren't thrilled about that existing.
Do you think it's even still there?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, wait, this was in Lancaster, right?
Yeah. Well, this was not even in Lancaster. This was in like south of Lancaster. Like you go south of oh, I mean, I guess you're from Maryland, but like in between like Baltimore and Lancaster is like just the South for some reason. So anyway,
that makes sense.
yeah. There's like fucking
Pockets.
yeah. There's like motorsports arenas and shit, like
Yeah, dude.
weird stuff. Hunting grounds. But anyway, so we're at the Oktoberfest there, which is just you drink all day in the sun, and everyone's wearing like lederhosen. It's a good time. It was a really great day. Unfortunately, it was the same day as the Doug Stanhope show, so I do not remember seeing one of my favorite comedians live
Oh no.
at all. I completely blacked out seeing one of my heroes.
That sucks, dude. That's like you just threw money away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I got in for free. It was at the Chameleon where I used to host the club or the shows and stuff.
That's
the
good.
mic. So anyway, we're there and we see this dude. He has this big like Rube Goldberg machine. And it has like a brush and like like gears on it and a little like cup and a hammer that drops and we go over and we're like, what the fuck is that? And he's like, oh, watch. And he like gets out the snuff, puts it in the little cup, winds it all down, and then he starts cranking it, and like the hammer lifts up, and then it drops the hammer, and it shoots the snuff into his nostril, and then he like just moves like this, and then there's like a brush going like this comically, and it wipes off his face. We're like, what the fuck is that? He's like, oh, no, it's you guys like cigarettes. Try this. And we just did it, like not really asking too many
God.
questions. And we tried it, and we're like, it wakes you up. We're like, woo!
I've never
It was intense.
I've never felt the effects of nicotine. I don't understand it. Like
Hmm.
there's so many there are so many drugs where I'm just like I feel like it's stimulants in general. Actually, I'm like I don't really get this.
Huh. I mean, it's
Just don't
probably
feel
good that you don't like it.
No,
But
no,
anyway,
no.
then
Not
we
that I
would,
don't like it. I don't feel like when people talk about like cigarettes make you feel a certain way. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't understand that.
It doesn't like relax you in any way?
No.
Huh. I don't know. But anyway, then we would keep we found out where he bought it and we would buy a can of Snuss. And basically the whole reason we would have it is just like when we would run out of cigarettes, we would then do the Snuff or the Snuff cuz you would never want to do it any other time. It was just like when you were too drunk to go buy more cigarettes.
But you just started. Oh, so you would just like get them like on auxiliary. So you like have
Yeah,
them.
yeah. So you'd have cigarettes, but then like at 4 a.m., everyone would run out of cigarettes.
Why wouldn't you just buy another pack of cigarettes?
Because like, you know,
This is easier. It's easier. You can get more.
well, this wasn't in the city, so that would mean drunk driving.
Okay. You're right. I see. I got it now.
But anyway, maybe I'll start doing just Snuff again. That would be funny, right?
You're gonna lose your nose.
Because it's legal, but like I'd imagine if you're like doing it on the table at Starbucks, people are gonna like get mad.
You shouldn't be doing anything with having to do with nicotine on. You shouldn't. There should be no powder that you're dumping on the table at Starbucks.
What if I just start blending it into drinks?
That would probably work, dude. Because the way the drugs are absorbed, it's not like your sinuses; it's the mucus.
Well, I'm pretty
membrane.
sure swallowing tobacco is like terrible for you.
Is it?
I'd imagine.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure that you'll get fucking.
I'm sure you get
cancer.
stomach cancer like immediately.
Yeah, but
You know what I want? I want to do is just chaw. You know,
No, what's chaw?
it's just that like Tom Sawyer ass. Like it's basically it's just rather than. I'm pretty sure they just cure the entire tobacco leaf or dip it in like molasses or something,
Mhm.
and then you have to like every time you do it, you saw off a big piece of chaw and then like put it inside your lip.
Ugh.
That's what I'm gonna do.
I
I'm just
hate
gonna
that.
start. That's what I'm gonna do.
What
I'm
am I
gonna-
mad?
Instead of starting to smoke again, I'm just gonna do all the weird old timey kinds of smoking.
from like the 19th century?
Yeah.
That's stupid. that's gonna kill you so much faster than like modern cigarettes that have been. You're like, I want all of this, but I want it in its rawest, most dangerous form. I want to do what people who only live to be 45 did.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I actually, you know what? I respect that. I
Yeah,
love
you're
that.
on board, right?
I am.
Mhm.
Now that I've thought about it for 2 seconds, it's great.
Yeah.
You'll check out right at the right time.
It's true.
Also, if you die of cancer, sometimes. No, I shouldn't say this. Never
Let's
mind.
hear it.
Sometimes I'm just like, well, cancer's awful, of course. You don't want cancer, but there is a part. I'm just like, oh man, becoming terminally ill. That's a night. You get a pass. That's like a nice free pass. Just like I get to check out early. Everyone feels bad
Yeah.
for me. Everyone's nice to me. Maybe I'll get to record my own HBO special. Who knows?
We look back on. We're like, oh, and that was the podcast where Nick developed Munchausen.
Wait, what's Munchausen's? Isn't Munchausen's like in your what's Munchausen's?
Well, what you're thinking of is, I'm pretty sure I have this right, but Munchausen by proxy is where you convince someone else that they're sick or treat someone else. I'm pretty sure Munchausen syndrome is where it's.
Yes,
I could have this kind of.
it's feigning. It's feigning severe illness.
Yeah.
So that
So it's
you get
different
pampered.
from hypochondria, because hypochondria, you believe it.
Yeah.
But
Munchausen's is when you. I mean, you might start to no, because if you're feigning, I guess you do. Dude, there was a point in time. This is just how I yearn for the past. Because it used to be. I had a joke about this too. Doctors and patients knew about the same. It's like what was going on, honestly. And Munchausen syndrome, like
Yeah,
back,
it'd be like, oh, well, I just have the coat.
yeah.
I have this little mirror on my headband, and
Right.
that means that I'm in charge.
Yeah. Oh fuck, man. I want to remember this joke. But anyway, but yeah, dude, it used to probably be so easy to lie about being like terminally sick. But the problem is, back in the day, that it's like nobody gave a shit. It's like, okay, yeah, sorry, go till the fields.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you're sick? All right, we'll put you on the cart when it comes around in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Fuck it. I'm remembering this joke now, and I want to bring it back. But you know what? It's also
Well-
fucking played out.
Yeah.
Talking about how things.
Why tell more jokes?
Yeah, honestly, talking about how things in
Look,
the past.
do we need jokes right now? The world is burning.
I've been trying to just like write like.
If you're not furious, you need to wake up.
I'm trying. I don't know. I'm dude. But here's the thing. I kind of get that. I get it a little. Just in the not from that angle, but just from like every joke's been told, which maybe is fine. Which maybe just means like it's how you repackage it. I don't know. I have no idea what I want to talk about with my comedy. What about me is worth knowing?
I don't know. I mean, like every joke, like the skeleton of every joke has like the scaffolding.
Mm-hmm.
That, for the most part, has all existed. But like, I guess to figure out this metaphor, like the drywall and the bricks and everything, that's all different. That's all yours.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's all basically like set up punch,
Right.
which is why I like it. I mean, that
Yeah.
to me that doesn't feel cheap or anything. The fact that it's all the same math.
No, I don't think it
Yeah.
does either.
I mean,
I'm not saying that,
yeah,
but
I mean, that's the same with like music.
all
Music has been done.
But I like that because I like it, and if someone like points that out and is like, "That's why I don't like it," I'm like, "Oh, that's hard." If you don't like it, it's hard to argue with.
I feel like so much of that is people who like aren't smart enough to figure out the math.
Do you think so?
Yes, and they're just like, "Oh, my comedy isn't like that." It's like, yeah, well, that's why the crowd doesn't laugh very loud.
Right.
Is because you're not like tapping into the
But
deeply ingrained rhythm that we all understand.
but I know people who just see through stand up. And I believe them that they do. Like they're just like it's an artifice and like it doesn't appeal to me and I'm just like I don't agree but I get it and I'm just like
I
damn,
get not enjoying it as a fan somewhat or like if you're like a comedian where like you're like a monologue guy or like a screenwriter or something like that. I don't get stand-ups who are like, ugh, a stand-up's so limiting. And
Oh,
dumb.
I'm not talking about stand-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I mean, look, comedy's
time to come up with new math.
Yeah.
All right.
Comedy's going to end
Yeah.
like next year.
No, I'm going to go back to the way that I used to do stand-up, which was instead of set-up punch, it was a baffling statement and then tread water.
That is true. My stand-up was always just like, it was just observational comedy, but I was observing like I would just like, and I'm not saying this like I was so smart. I would take an angle. I would take a very improbable angle, a foolish angle, an angle that was probably not the most interesting or the funniest or even the most relatable, and then I would just like get so focused on it that, like, I have so many jokes now where when I look at the angle, I'm just like, what was I fucking thinking? I could have done something that people liked.
Damn, you just reminded me of one of my favorite open mic freaks of all time.
Oh, please.
His name, I'll just say his name. Who cares? His name was Matt Fulmer.
Mm-hmm.
Look him up because I think he had this he had like a weird Christian poetry blog or something. His internet presence is just astonishingly mentally ill. This is a dude. He's one of those dudes who like only had one nostril from like however the fuck he was living his life.
Oh my God.
And yeah, like it just like eroded away Artie Lang style.
Ugh.
But he would come into the mic at the Lizard Lounge, and he would do structurally perfect, like honed observational comedy about just a schizophrenic world that doesn't exist.
I would love to see that.
He would come out and he'd just be like, man, we all know werewolves love blue Skittles. We're like, what the
That's amazing. It would probably be my favorite comic.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I want to know.
You know when the bird returns? Just insanity.
How do you not love that though? Like, how?
I loved it.
Of course.
We
What a
would
great
lose
subversion.
our shit. God, because
You know when the bird returns. That's the best joke I've ever heard.
and I mean, I'm just remembering like snippets, but he would have like fully worked out observations and angles, and like it was very Def Jam, white guy.
Of course.
But it was very, oh man, it was so cool.
That's amazing.
And then he would always, like, he would sit there and he would, like, patiently wait and do his set. And then the moment that his set was over, he would just like leave the bar. He would
That rules,
He would walk stage and out into the night.
I respect that. That guy sounds like the most badass person who's ever lived.
No, and it was so cool. And then he had this like blog about being friend zoned and shit. It was like an entire world of content. Man, I wish that we could get this dude. It'd be sick if this dude started vlogging or something.
Dude, I wish we could fly him out here and interview him.
Yeah, man, Central PA. I really like of all the different scenes that I've gone around. Like, obviously, there's like your like Mount Rushmore of open mic like weirdos. Be like your like Tom Myers is obviously there.
Tom Myers got to be on there.
Got to be on there. But like just like the Harrisburg. There was this one dude named Valak, who God, he was the biggest retard. He's the biggest. He didn't have anything wrong. He was just the dumbest man I've ever met. And he would like walk entire crowds doing his guitar comedy.
Oh my God.
He would just come out and he'd like, and it always sounded like Bob Dylan. It was like kind of cool folk music. And he would go like, "Sex with a fat girl, it's not what it seems." And everyone would be like, "I'm out." Everyone would get up and leave. And he did this music video. God, he took it offline because I think he realized everyone was passing the link around and making fun of him.
Mm-hmm.
But he did this music video. By the way, the guy who shot the music video, it was just this other like weirdo Harrisburg guy who would follow Valak around like he was a celebrity and film every open mic set like well.
That's amazing.
He would film it super professionally. So he made him this like professional production value music video just about him wanting to fuck clowns.
Oh my God.
It was so like, and the most hilarious part about it is that they hired some like hot Craigslist girl to like be the clown in it, but like halfway through shooting it, she got weirded out and she bailed. So then for half of it, they just replaced it with a blow up doll.
Oh my God.
But it wasn't shot sequentially, so like there's no.
So it just like jumps between like
like within the same sequence.
That's amazing.
It was just so cool.
Oh my God.
I just remember there's
this
this one memory that's like this shot that's like burned into my memory, where it's like him singing up into the blow up doll's pussy, and he just goes like, "I want to eat you out," like a cool like flourish with like synths. Oh man,
That's awesome. Who are the fucking crazy? I've already talked about Ice Pick Rick on this podcast.
Oh, yeah, the guy who just stabs people.
Stabbed Brandon Lascure with a crab leg. Who the fuck were some of these people? We were talking about somebody last time after we were off mic. We were talking about somebody. I can't remember. All the good content happens off mic.
Yeah, you're right.
Fuck was it? Oh, I remember.
Well, we have two options.
Mm-hmm.
We can either record our every interaction and make it content, making our lives a living hell, or we could stop hanging out except on this podcast.
We could do that. Well, I just remembered.
Both those ideas are very bad.
We kind of do the second one. No, we did an escape room.
Yeah, we did an escape room last night.
There was a comic. You know Eric Woodworth?
Yeah, or it sounds familiar.
So he's good actually. He's really funny. He ran a mic in Ellicott City before it got fucking destroyed by God. He had a brother. He has a brother, Jeremy Woodworth, who's like this big, looks like Eric but like 50 pounds heavier, bald, a complete lunatic. Like loves Tim and Eric, but is also an ultra conservative, like anti, like not like pro-life, like really like staunch like pro-life posts on which I thought were a bit when I first friended him, and then I was like, oh no, this guy's crazy. His job is he's got to be close to 50, and his job is he sets up the like the cardboard stand-ups at like a movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
That's his full-time job. And so he would do this character called Vietnam Tom. He was always doing characters. Vietnam Tom, he would come out, he pretended like one of his legs had been blown off, and he just told a bunch of jokes about how he missed Vietnam. Something about, I swear to God, he had something about like raping gook women. Something. I might be fucking misquoting him, but his best character
It's a hot riff.
there was another open mic comic named Michael Friedman, right? Michael Anthony. He had the shirt that said "Be Positive," and he would read
The guy who like would put pictures of his piss on Facebook.
Well, he didn't. He just did that. I don't know what that was about. he just did that, and there was like a pun that went along with it. But someone must have seen that because it was gone. Like the minute I like wanted to show it I took a screenshot, and then the minute I wanted to show it to somebody, it was gone. Like when I tried to go back
like
to the
from
page.
your phone somehow.
Yeah. No. I still have it on my phone. So that guy was like a one-liner comic, and he would read these one-liners, and he had them on little cards, and he would put the card in his pocket. He would read the one-liner, put the card in his pocket. So Jeremy Woodworth started doing this really mean character called Bizarro Michael Friedman, where he just came out. He got a shirt, custom shirt that said "Be Positive," like the one that Michael had. He had like a wig on, and he came out with a bowl of note cards that he would pour hot sauce on, and he would read the jokes, and then he would eat the cards, and he would eat literally like 25 of these cards covered in hot sauce out of his bowl.
And like, I mean, this must be at a mic, right?
This is only at Mike's. Jeremy Woodworth was not getting booked.
Yeah.
So he's doing these
That's such a
intense
sad thing
characters.
to do. Like a deep, high concept character bit.
Not high. Don't say high concept.
All right.
Elaborate. It was complicated.
Elaborate, but like that. In order to get it, you have to also go to shitty open mics every day.
Kind of. I mean, like,
So it's for no one.
Watching him eat the cards was incredible. Because that's not like eating paper. Those note cards are thick.
Oh,
They're
cards.
They're like the flashcards that you would use, like when you were studying in school.
Oh my God.
And he would pour Frank's hot sauce all over them, and he would eat like 20 of them.
Christ.
It's incredible, and he would get sick sometimes after.
How many times did he do this bit?
A lot. I saw him do it a lot. Between Bizarro, Michael Friedman, and Vietnam Tom was just nobody was really on board with Vietnam Tom. Vietnam Tom also did like he couldn't have like updated it to like the Gulf War or the Iraq War. It had to be Vietnam.
Vietnam's always the comedy reference war.
It's so crazy, and he literally just would just like tell jokes about like torturing like Vietnamese people.
Sick.
Oh, incredible.
Can I share one last one?
Yeah, go
for it. We're about at time. But
yeah, Tom's gonna be downstairs soon.
yeah, I remember we had this dude only show up once, but on the day that we took like a group photo that was the cover photo of the open mic page for years. But just this dude showed up only once. Full trench coat,
Amazing.
golf club,
Amazing.
a blow up doll. And he went on stage and he basically was like, he did other material before this, but he like bombed for 2 minutes, and then he went like, would you guys like to meet my wife? And everyone, is kind of like a chill, fills the air, was like, and he pulls out the blow up doll and he's like, she's really hot, isn't she? Do you guys want to fuck my wife? And someone's like, yes. He's like, oh, no. And then he just takes the golf club and he starts just savagely beating the blow up doll like to death. Like he pops it and then he looks up and he realizes no one's laughing and he's just like, I thought it was going to be funny.
That is awesome.
And then he starts digging around. He gets like really mad at himself and he starts like what looks like a real freak out, like hitting himself in the head.
Yeah.
And then he starts reaching around in like the inside pocket of the coat and just like looking at the audience mad. And he starts going like, "Don't worry, guys, I'm not reaching for a gun."
Oh my God.
No, I'm not. Like in a very realistic, like this is not a bit way where like this man has a gun and he's going to kill us all. And then Ryan Meehan lit him, and he just went like, "Oh, okay," and then got off stage. And it was almost as if he respected, like he was going to kill us all, but he respected the light.
He didn't have any time.
Yeah,
He had no time to kill you guys.
And then afterwards, we were all going to take we'd been planning for like a week. We told everyone to come that week so that we could take a big group like family photo for the thing. And then he's just in that.
That's awesome. And you never saw him again?
Never again.
I fucking respect that, dude.
What a cool guy. All right.
See the lady, make a baby, lead her on in peace. Only time I give a fuck is for my own release. That's why I own these streets. Straight up, portfolio showing growth. Fuck a pay cut. Yeah, you know I stay slut. Catch me in the spot, looping up for the self-suck. Oh fuck, I busted already. I'm coming bucket so heavy. My dream of cream coming steady. Now my mouth open, I'm ready. I'm talking solo heavy petting on a Friday night. Not talking bashing the bishop, more like Nantucket's delight. I'm taking all the time I need to do it just right.